Are we good? I guess we are live. Come on, YouTube. How's my audio? My audio good? Come on, YouTube. Oh yeah, we good. We good. Oh, there you go. That took a while. All right. Let's see if somebody joins. I guess I gotta get some water though. Gotta get some water. Oh yeah. There you go. All right. Oh, let's see if the world is burning today. Which is all this is. Don't look at my hair. The non-existent part of it. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. 5 people immediately. What the fuck was that? How you doing, guys? You have nothing better to do in your evening, of course. I understand. Now, open format today, because I have no clue. I've been getting spammed about the whole Trump shit. Somebody told me, because he's a president, he can't get actually arrested or some shit, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we'll see.
Cenoura, tomate e frutas. Que explosão de sabores.
Where's my ad block, man?
É a tua bebida refrescante de fruta.
This is unacceptable. Okay, I don't have a fucking ad block again.
Dramatic reaction to the conviction of former President Donald Trump. Yesterday, a New York jury found him guilty on 34 felony charges for his involvement in a hush money scheme. Our Hannah Brandt has more. Hannah?
Former President Donald Trump is wasting no time trying to control the fallout here. Today, he gave a fiery speech.
So is he going to jail or not?
The witnesses and the guilty verdict.
It was a rigged trial.
In an angry tirade at Trump Tower, former President Donald Trump repeated his claims of innocence, just hours after a New York jury found him guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records to hide a hush money payment.
Everything involved was standard. There was no crime here.
Both supporters and opponents rallied at Trump Tower after the historic verdict. And from the White House, President Biden...
Banana Republican.
The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed.
He called out his political opponent for attacking the justice system.
Dude, I think at some point, man, I'm happy that I lost my hair at 19 years of age, because that shit does not work. What the fuck is happening here? Does it have a life of its own? Did he spook his own hair? Because that motherfucker's trying to leave. Let him leave. That's not normal. Oh, man. So, listen, I have no clue about American law in this case. If he is going to jail, if he is not going to go to jail.
It's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
The trial lasted over a month and included hours of testimony and dozens of witnesses and documents, and it took the jury just 2 days of deliberation to reach their decision.
It was a little quick, but they actually did their homework. I mean, they asked for the replay of the testimony.
Georgetown law professor Victoria Nurse gives the jurors credit.
In the end, they came to...
Oh, okay. Somebody got to explain to me how they come to a conclusion. Like, this is it. This is what's going to happen. You're found guilty. And I guess I'm gonna walk down. Alright, cool. Thanks for the information. Bye. You know where I live. I have no clue what's happening. Alright, fuck it. I just gotta get out of here because I'm completely out of my depth here. Now somebody was complaining. I don't think there's anything here that has been happening. Fresh and Fit, those guys are going down. So we gotta make this a channel meme, by the way. Hold on a second. I think in this video they show. Okay, I need a fucking ad block. What is happening with the ad block, dude? Oh yeah, YouTube is banning us now for having ad block, which is nice. They can suck a dick. Does it still work? Alright. See if that does it. Okay.
Another day, another fresh and fit L.
Again.
By the way,
That's the most hilarious shit I've ever seen. This is the best reaction meme.
Another day, another fresh and fit L.
again!
Again.
By
Another day, another fresh and fit L.
again!
I do gotta love alpha males, dude. Reacting like women. That is always nice. But I want the freshest things now. If you have anything in the chat that you want to talk about, this was a whole fucking thing too, man. This is old, 3 months old, but holy fuck, this was huge. Liking little girls and horses, man, that's the first one. But yeah, I want something fresh, something just fresh out of the oven. Now, I'm pretty sure they're gonna flood me with the Trump shit all the fucking time. I guess the world's kind of fine today, isn't it, people? Just reviewing whiskey, you know. We're living our best lives right now. Hold on a second. If this is not if this is not satirical, man, I have no clue why this video exists, but I'm very curious.
Taking a nice hot shower can be an invigorating part of your day,
All right.
but it's also potentially dangerous. 2 weeks ago, musician Charlie Collin, one of the founding members of the rock group Train,
No, man.
lost his life after falling and slipping in the shower.
I'm sorry. Y'all cannot make a fucking video. Because the guy fell. The timing on some of these fucking editors and producers, man, it just... I'm sure there's going to be a high demand for people how to shower safely. So I'm going to make a video about that. Dude. They really got a model for this. Like, why does this video exist? That felt like the start of an adult film. I don't understand the purpose of this video, man.
He was just 58.
Do people injure themselves getting into and out of the shower? Is that most common? Or
I'm sorry, why is there a doctor? What the fuck? Why does this video exist? Why? There's no purpose. Why do they have to call a doctor? Like, is falling and hitting your head on the floor has to be like medically certified? Like, oh yeah, that's a danger right there. You don't need a doctor. You don't even need a model.
can it be really doing anything?
Both scenarios, entering the shower, showering, and exiting the shower.
Emergency room doctor Ahmed Rashed says our 33-year-old model is just as much at risk as any elderly person.
It's not uncommon to see hip fractures or head injuries, which can be fatal.
He told me about some...
Why she's there? Still, man. You gotta explain me something. Something is missing here. Oh, come on, man. You can't do this to me. Some videos on you. This is why YouTube feels like it's cluttered with bullshit, because it is. I mean, rest in peace to the guy that, like, you know, dying because he fell on the shower. Like, that's not that uncommon when you hear, like, there's some people that die on the toilet and some shit like that. Like, if you have seen Sopranos, that there's one dude that died like that, and that's something that can happen. You try to shit too hard and you die. Which is the way to go, honestly. I would love that. But this video, what does it exist? Hold on a second, man. Since you're talking about him looking like a porn star, yeah, I think this is what Johnny Sins is doing on the outside. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, people. This is the weirdest way to start a stream ever. But this video shouldn't exist. I don't know why. I don't know why. What is she doing here? Dude, I gotta post this in my other channel. Like, this is way too much.
Showering, and exiting the shower.
Emergency room doctor Ahmed Rashed says our 33.
Yeah, just pull me out of emergency so I can explain to you why falling into the shower is dangerous. Fuck, man. Oh man, dude, come on. Show this screen cap without context and see what everyone thinks. Like, man, why? If there was no title on this video, I would be so confused. Imagine if this is one of those things that pops on your TikTok, man. Because TikTok doesn't actually have, like, the whole thumbnail shit and all that. Like, I guess I'm watching this.
3-year-old model is just as much at risk as any elderly person.
No shit.
It's not uncommon to see hip fractures or head injuries, which can be fatal.
He told me about some very common hazards.
Soap, conditioner, shampoo, residue accumulates on the shower floor, which will make anybody slip and fall.
No shit, man, it's wet. It's a fucking shower.
Experts recommend getting accessories to help prevent a fall.
Okay.
Things like a grab handle, just like this one, and a non-slip mat. This can help prevent a fall when there's a soapy floor that you could slip on.
This little ledge can contribute to a stumble or fall. Showers can also generate...
So just remodel your whole house. I don't know, man. This video, okay, this may be valid information, even though I think it's pretty obvious, but I mean, some people don't have the handlebar kind of thing, I guess. That's, what, 10 seconds, 20 seconds of a video, man. Why is this 1 minute and 30?
Steam that might
Meanwhile, I'm out here, like, spending 3 weeks thinking of a fucking video, and this shit pops off.
dizzy or lightheaded.
Do us all a favor and just sit on the floor. Don't lean against the toilet because you can fall off the toilet. Off the toilet, hit your head on the sink.
Bottom line...
Did this man just tell you, control your fall?
Shower.
Do us all a favor and
generate steam that might make you dizzy or lightheaded.
Okay.
Do us all a favor and just sit on the floor. Don't lean against the toilet because you can fall off the toilet. Off the toilet, hit your head on the sink.
Bottom line, shower with caution.
I mean, something shouldn't... I think YouTube... I mean, I don't know, but YouTube should start filtering shit out then. I'm a strong believer or defender that we should have a YouTube version, like YouTube Pro kind of thing, where they actually review the shit. You know, since they are so obsessed with AI and AI that says, you know what, this actually has editing, there's a purpose for this video. I don't understand this. Like, this is one of those videos. We start off well, man. No show a soap or shampoo and wear a bathing suit. This video might have saved my life and ended my social life at the same time. Why was there a model, man? There's no fucking reason for any of this, man. Dude, guys, we have to agree. Inside Edition knows how to find and expect something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know why these videos exist, man. We start off well. Might have been the most useless fucking video I've seen in a long time, but alright. It's not news. Oh, man, dude. Let's see if we can find more jams here. Unless you guys want to talk. I'm sorry if I miss a few in the chat here. Blinded, how you doing? I saw your video about the porn star. That's Johnny Sins. That's what he does in the off time, man. I thought all this is common sense. Why do we need a doctor, man? Like, an ER doctor. Like, could you... I don't know, man. Like a fucking gynecologist could tell you this. Honestly, dude. Dude. There's absolutely no way. Alright. So, fresh and fit. Like, this is... I really don't want to give attention to these pricks anymore, man. they're kind of faking leaving YouTube, but they are in dire situation. Like, they're not making any fucking money. PlayStation, I mean, I don't think anything happened that would require attention. Oh, man. This guy, man. Oh, we have to talk about this one. The way people rode his dick. Because he blew people's mind by saying, oh, one what was it? 1 multiplying by 1. That should be 1, because you still have one thing, not 0. The amount, and you don't have no fucking clue when it comes to Facebook. Facebook has one of the worst audiences when it comes to, I don't know, common sense, I would say. And so many people were defending this guy. I don't even remember his full name. Terrence something, right? He's an actor, man, like from Empire or some shit. And the way that people were riding his dick, because he was saying the most outlandish shit, such as, like I said, 1 multiplying by 0. Well, you still have one thing. My guy, you can't multiply apples either. Like, when you think about the multiplication purpose of it itself, it's having one object that turns into multiple. That's not, like, that's artificial. That's not something, nobody counts, like, how many apples do I have? Oh, the quadruple of, like, nobody says that. You add one apple to the other, you say, I have 2. Okay? Multiplication is something that we created in math. In fact, the whole point of math, it's a fucking human science, man. It's not a natural science. It's not something that already exists and we have to analyze it to be objectively correct. It's math. Yeah, there was some guy in history that said, you know what? If we multiply it by 0, it should be 0 so that we can build shit. You know? Like, computers are, the whole operation of computers are around 1s and 0s. Binary systems also make no fucking sense. Why are things denominated by yes or no? None of that makes sense. But it's a way that we found to make sense in the grand scheme of things. Math is not an actual science, dude. It's a human science, something that we created. For this guy to be like, you know, the universe makes no sense with this math thing. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yourself to be a smart person? Have you ever contemplated the complexities and intricacies of the world and the universe that we all reside in? People have been theorizing for centuries the way things work, and quite frankly, a lot of them are right, wrong, wrong. Pythagoras, Einstein,
all dumbasses.
Voltaire, Soren Kierkegaard, they've all put their 2 cents in, but one man from
Terrence
the
Howard.
modern age is way better, and that's Terrence Howard. The guy from Iron Man! The guy from the first Iron Man!
Yeah, I even forgot he was an Iron Man, dude. He made, what, 1 movie and then he was like, I'm out. Find someone else.
All those smart folks that I mentioned, Voltaire especially, go ahead and disregard them. All right, guys, these so-called geniuses. Today, we're going to be looking at the greatest genius to ever have lived, American actor Terrence Howard, a man who has created a new groundbreaking science known as teriology.
The universe is built.
I honestly thought that was like an actual religion that kind of already existed. This motherfucker really created a religion based on his name. I know the whole Christianity thing comes from Christ, but fuck it out. I couldn't believe it, man. There has to be Wikipedia by that, right? An article, teriology, how do you say it, man? It's actually teriology. There's no fucking way this guy created a whole science for himself. There's no way. Someone has to make a Wikipedia article. There's no fucking way he actually did it. I thought it was something that, okay, you know what? Terrence, I wasn't really associating with the name Terry, so I honestly thought it was like Scientology kind of shit. You know, like Terry means something and then they added the logy part of it. He literally picked up his fucking nickname. Dude, no way people actually saw that shit as like, oh, this guy is fucking brilliant. We have to start following. He's making some sense. What the fuck?
Based off of equanimity, which Einstein left out in his theory of relativity. The balancing side of the gravity.
I love the name Terry. It's a funny name. It's funny.
Yeah, no, you have Jesus Christ, you know. Yeah, cool, but not that cool. Doesn't sound cool at all. right? Muhammad, fuck that. That's not Allah. Who the fuck cares? No, Terry. Now that's a god's name right there, but that's something that's someone I'm gonna follow. I can't believe it, man.
His name's Terrence, but I think Terry is short for Terrence.
I'm Scary Terry. You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
But I can't prove that, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Mr. Howard has, believe it or not, been preaching his ideas for a while. And recently, those ideas went mainstream when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
How is 1 times 1 equaling 1 part of the multiplication table? Now, I understand that if you're seeing it one time.
Right. We have to see the actual video, man. Because here's the thing, I don't judge Joe Rogan for that. Like, the whole purpose of having a guest is to make him feel comfortable. In fact, the more they talk, even if it's some dumb shit, like, you get views. So, fuck, just let him talk. Okay. But there's something about how Joe just keeps feeding him some leash, and he actually takes it. It's fucking hilarious, man. Joe Rogan, Terrence Howard. It's something else, man. The whole thing is something else. Okay, we're not obviously not going to watch the whole thing, but the multiplication thing, come on, please.
I didn't come into this world the way everybody else does.
Oh, no.
I used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget. Don't forget.
No fucking way, man. Time out. I need help. No. This man had a conscious fucking memory while he was a toddler. Oh, man. That was it. That's his experience. He woke up inside his mom's womb. No, I'm sorry. I said toddler. Not even that. He was not even born yet, dude. Oh, man. Oh, man. The comments. My first memory is that I went to a party with my dad and I left with my mom. If my plug doesn't get me this shit that turns out it smokes, I need a new plug. Oh my god, dude. Oh shit. Some people actually take him seriously, man. Jamie, pull up. Jamie, pull up Terrence for the ultrasound. Oh man, this guy cannot be for real, man. These are not deep thoughts, they are dumb thoughts, dude. Nah, this has to be a publicity. Like, this guy is talking some sense now. Terrence is low-key doing all this so he can charge you twice for his book. That has to be so. I didn't even know he had a book. So this has to be something that is to draw some attention, man. It can't be anything else. There's no fucking way. Inside his mom's womb, dude. That is something else. Holy fuck, man. Let me just. I'm sorry. I need to. Okay, we good. Oh man, this guy's something else, man. Oh my god, no. No.
My intention was to rebuild the periodic table, build a new periodic table, because the stuff I had learned in college. I went to school for chemical engineering the first year over at Pratt, and they at the time I think it was like 108 elements, and I told the teacher, the professor, about the relationship between hydrogen on the spectrometer and carbon and silicon and cobalt. And I was like, it's the same exact color, same tone, just doubled in each octave. And he was like, no, each element is the same element and it will always be that element. And I was like, you don't see the relationship. So I left school and I was going to spend 40 years.
I'm sorry, if he doesn't mean as in like I left school eventually, like I'm just picturing him storming out, you know what, like, no, this is crazy to me. I'm out. As a kid, I'm gonna leave the fucking school because I don't agree with the periodic table. I don't know, man. Like in my school, you'd be stoned, honestly, like literally stoned. Like fucking, this guy wants to reinvent the periodical table. No, man.
Years rebuilding the periodic table, and I found out that Walter Russell had already did that. And he did it based upon the natural curvature of everything.
And when you say rebuild the periodic table, what do you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now,
let's see.
It looks like a box.
Image of it.
It looks like a straight box.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna create something, a new shape. Hold on a second. Let's make some bets here. He's gonna invent a shape, and a whole shape. Dude, he's gonna say something crazy. It's not gonna be a circle. It's not gonna be any of that shit. He has to go the extra mile, right? We can't have that shit in teriology, man. We gotta have something nice, something advanced for the thought.
Show the relationship that between every element, there's two
All right, here's the periodic table.
You'll see hydrogen sitting all the way over there by itself, but they don't show that hydrogen has the same tone as carbon.
What do you mean by tone?
Same tone, same key of E. Same key of E. 40.5 hertz. The next one would be like 81 hertz.
So fucking what, dude? Paper and snow are the same color. That's not the same. What the fuck? Divide light by 2 and multiply 1 by 1. What do you get? Bisexual carbon. Dude, this guy. His whole sober personality is what most people would be when they're smoking something. That is praisable, dude. I could not be this creative. That is insane.
You go to silicon, it will double up and would be 162 hertz. You'll go to cobalt and it'll be 324 hertz. It's, in that base, if you were to take the angles of incidence or the tones that they create, their color, like you can turn color back into sound based upon, it's the same wavelength, it's just twice as long or much longer. So all you have to do is keep dividing light by 2.
Keep that up, Jimmy.
You keep dividing light by 2, and you'll ultimately get back to...
It's too early in the morning for Terrence and Hello. I think it's too early, both too late and too early, man. Look at me, I'm almost talking like Terry himself. I'm already getting fucked up in the head. How you doing, man? Jesus Christ, I can't understand. I kind of love this man, though, man. Like I said, you have to be creative for this shit, man. You have to be creative, because if he really truly was like this in school, like he was looking at the periodic table and he was like, you know what, this whole fucking thing is wrong. I know I'm gonna fix this, even without studying the whole actual table, just because of the color of the elements. Bam, right there, fucking genius. You have to be creative for this shit, man. This is hilarious, man. I fucking love this.
The audible sound of it, because there was a relationship between light and color, sound and tone, matter and shape.
Oh, man.
I put, I sent over Walter Russell's.
I was trying to get to that. That's what.
Yeah, it's Walter Russell's periodic table that he put together. Now you compare that to what Mendeleev's periodic table. You'll compare Walter Russell's to it, and you'll see something completely different. It's unwinding.
Whoa.
I told you, they were going to make a whole new shape for the elements. Dude, what the fuck is even this? This looks like a snail. Do they not understand? Listen, even if they were right about how the elements actually have properties that are much more, in a way, intertwined and mutual, and they are more relevant. Even if you think of all this is not how you make something that is like to explain, students, some of them being really young, 12 years of age and shit like that. Like, this is how it works. You don't do, this is terrible. Who the fuck would understand this? There's a lot more to each element that is on a periodic table, but guess why the table is a table? It's so that it's logical. You can look at the fucking thing and understand how certain elements belong in a certain group while others don't. That's why hydrogen is isolated. Because the properties of hydrogen are very unique. It's not the fucking color. Who the fuck gives a shit about the color, man? Like, you're gonna intertwine two elements, even though they're both explosive, let's imagine, because, what, they have the same color? What the fuck? Yes, silver top is gone. That doesn't sound good. I hope they're just playing along, but who knows? Like, I saw some people on Facebook believing this shit. There were people that were honestly, like, not laughing, generally going like, I think it was Moist Critical on Facebook. He posted his video about Terrence, and obviously it's Facebook. So you're gonna have all your 50-year-olds that know better than, It's not even, Moist Critical himself is not even a scientist, but we're talking about channels that reviewed, I don't know, fucking bike engines and shit. Talking about, oh no, actually Terrence has a point here. When you multiply something by 1, you still have one thing. Multiplication is not a real fucking thing, my guy. Math as a whole is not a natural science. It's not something that we saw falling from a fucking tree and go like, oh my god, this must be multiplication. Like, that's not what happened. We created that shit. There has been one person who said, you know what? I guess when we multiply something by 0, for it to make sense throughout the whole all other operations, it has to be 0. That's it. The same way that dividing something by 0 is impossible. When you think about it, it also kind of makes no sense that, multiplying something by 0 makes it 0, but then when you divide something by 0, then it becomes an impossible, or rather, something that doesn't actually exist. You can't do that operation. But it's the way that we made logic, because if we go on this like, I don't know, I would call this like an intellectual rampage that Terrence is going on, all of a sudden, computers stop working. Because the whole binary system also makes no sense. Why is something yes or no? Like, things are not binary for the most part. And that's the way we found to make computers work, man. It's something we created. For this guy to be questioning it at all, and let's imagine if he has the reins to change everything. He would drive the fucking whole economy, the whole society to the brink of collision. Because what the fuck? You're just gonna question everything. This is not a case of like, you know what, in the United States we're gonna use a metric system. Even if you do that, like, for example, people say metric system scientifically far better and shit like that, and I agree. But are you really gonna implement that shit in a whole country like the United States in 2024? The amount of fucking crashes that would happen because people would not really know how to regulate speed with a new scale. It would be terrible. Houses being poorly built because they confuse the fucking systems. It makes no sense. Maths are just a language. On some things, yes. Metric time, hell no. Like, especially when I'm not American, what the fuck would I care if Americans use imperial or metric? I don't know, if that's how they worked for them. Like, I would hate to think, like, you have to think that, a mile is 13, 20... what is it, inches or some shit? I don't even remember that shit. Like, you guys make a weird conversion. For example, when you're 5'12", after that is 6 foot, if I'm not mistaken, or 5'12" is already 6 foot. That's confusing to me. That, like, I like to operate based on tens, right? But you cannot drive a whole society to change overnight and not expect some heavy consequences. For almost what benefit? Like, none. There would be no benefit. So this guy questioned his whole thing for what? No one really uses metric time. It's 10 hours in a day, 100 minutes in an hour. Yeah, exactly, time. Who the fuck said 60 seconds? And then that becomes 1 minute. And then 60 minutes becomes 1 hour. And that's confusing, because you don't use 1.8 hours or some shit like that. Sometimes you have to convert that when it comes to computers. But, I mean, in natural speaking, you're not going to fucking think, oh, it took me about 8.8 minutes. Like, nobody says that shit, because it's not logical. The calendar Did you there was this whole discussion like, oh, should we use before Common Era or some shit like that? What the fuck did I just write? Before Common Era? BCE or BC versus BC? Something like that. And even what is his name? DeGrease Tyson, that's how you say his name? I forgot his first name. But even him said, it's stupid for you to go, BCE, right? What the fuck? Why, man? Like, yeah, we use a Christian measurement, but it would be far worse to all of a sudden start changing that. For the sake of what? There's literally no benefit for you to start using BCE instead of BC. Everyone knows it's before Christ, because that's the fucking timetable that we use. Even if you don't believe in Christ, man, it's a fucking thing that is set in stone. That's it. Why the fuck would you change it? I'm sure there's calendars that make far more sense. This guy questioning stupid shit. Who the fuck cares about any of this? I think the actual concern isn't the ignorance. It's the failures of people to question ideas. Did you check out Elon Musk's troll post yesterday? Is it on X? X, man. I'm just gonna write Twitter. That's another fucking thing. Like changing the name. You still type Twitter. Whatever. But no. Also, I love how Elon Musk is so full of himself. Like you are automatically following him when you sign up to X. That's something else. That's something beautiful. But what is it? He tweets all the time, man. So you have to be concrete a little bit. I remember seeing a recent tweet of him about stream on X. We don't have, those TD streamers, like there's no nudity here, and like you see any fucking comment section. I'm even scared to use X right now. First and foremost, when you send a link like this, x.com, and sometimes when there's videos, there's like a /video, X video, automatically I get a heart attack because I think I just sent some porn clip. Let's go straight up with the name itself. It's really fucking weird. And the comment sections on a lot of fucking posts is just porn, dude. Even in things that you would think, like, there should be no porn in this. So I don't know what he was on about that shit. When in reply to Logan Kilpatrick, I don't know how you can search specifically on inside the account, man. I'm very unexperienced with X. I've recently been getting on it again. I can do Control F, but it's not gonna find it. So I'll just trust your word, man. I'm not gonna spend too much time here. There's actual academics in the comments arguing with him, but he was like trolling. Yeah, like I don't know, man. People waste breath on people that sometimes they're just joking, like straight up joking. I'm not sure if he is joking, but there's some people that are just straight up joking, man. Hold on, I don't want to be fucking lazy about that shit, man. Let me see if I can find it. If I search Elon Musk, maybe I don't know what the fuck that thumbnail is. What if I say this? Can I find it, or do I have to Google it? Okay. See, I don't know how to check. I'm a boomer with this fucking thing. I don't know how you would check the reply. I mean, I don't know. Add the X dot and that ought to work. Well, again, I found it. I just can't see the fucking original. Again, I'm a boomer, people. Don't judge me. I've also, like, I do have a complaint with the new system because I know this is different. But the whole fact, like, if you repost something, it becomes a reply to, and you check the tabs, I have to double my fucking post for that. Alright, I'm a little bit outside this whole discussion of what AGI and all that kind of shit is. So I'm landing on a parachute on what you're telling me right now. Artificial General Intelligence, okay. Again, I would like to know what he's replying to. Oh, okay, there you go, sorry. How long until AGI? Next year. Apply to what? What is he going to apply the AGI to? Is AGI like a grand... that matches and surpasses human capabilities across a wide range. Okay, he was definitely fucking trolling, yeah. Yeah, he was trolling, okay. And people are taking this shit seriously. Twitter is definitely not a place for jokes, man. You cannot make jokes on Twitter. I don't even know this guy, and that does seem like a fucking troll to me. I don't know, man. Twitter is a whole different ecosystem for me. AGI is the lay idea that computers will think like humans. Yeah, from what it seems like, they even surpass. All right. I'm not going to say it's completely science fiction, but it's not going to be anytime soon. What up, Obvious Malkin, everyone? Been a minute being on here, but glad to catch a stream for today. Hey, how you doing, man? Today I decided to not play a lot of games, but it seems to be working. 6 people watching. I usually just like to do commentary sometimes.
It's unwinding.
But even though this is a bit comedic, this has a comedic effect to it, because when you review torrents...
And you see there's a relationship that hydrogen...
So you had figured this out at a young age?
I had already seen this.
Joe Rogan, he remembers being in the womb of his mother. What the fuck? You're not even at his level. Why is Joe Rogan here? Joe Rogan needs to leave the fuck out and just leave the mic on. Just let Torrance take the show, man.
This was all inside of that palace. I had access to it, and I knew the relationship.
So you saw this in dreams?
I saw it as a circle. Everything was a full circle laid out, and each
I fucking told you, man. He was gonna come up with a fucking shape that it doesn't even make sense. Everything is a circle, so why even... If everything is connected with everything, because, this one has the same color, this one has the same fucking atom count, whatever the fuck it might be. What the fuck would it matter for you to connect everything? It's like the concept of gender and, gender and sex are different. Okay, then what's the whole fucking point of gender? If gender simply means that you can be anything you want. Doesn't that become irrelevant if there's no definition for anything? Why you even use a term if it means nothing? It's like people just like to pick up words and make them fucking meaningless. This is making the fucking periodic table meaningless. Why would I need this? If everything is a circle, then you can just tell me, every element can be connected with each other. This one blows up with the other one. This one connects with the other one. This one forms water. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I know that if you mix shit around, something's going to happen. Most elements have something that is either a collaborative reaction or a completely adversary reaction, okay? What is it? Potassium with water? Something like that? I forgot that shit. It was a cool experiment that we did in school, but I already forgot about it. But there's a chemical that combusts with water, which you would think oh my god, that sounds insane. That's almost counterintuitive, but it exists. But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden they have to be interconnected in the periodic table. The periodic table is not to be, you know what? This one kind of reacts with the other one. No, it's just to set natural groups between certain factors that we understand as important. Okay? The same way that, again, the hydrogen is separated. There's a reason why the fucking hydrogen is separated. See, you would think, this group, why isn't hydrogen here? Because of the fucking count. There's things that you have to understand. They've just been made. For example, here, this is what the groups are aligned by, okay? Alkali, metals, which goes to the acidic perspective of each, right? Post-transition metals that I forgot about this one. Located between the transition metals to their left and the chemically weak non-metallic metalloids to their right have received many colors in the literature. Believe me, I used to know all this shit about the fucking colors thing. B-block metal, I would have to relearn all this shit. But I know for a fact that these things, like they say, they have a common property. It's not that this can't react with gallium. Was it gallium? I think it was gallium. Gallium has a property that eats through metal. I believe it's what it is. Gallium eats through metal. Which again is connected. For this guy, gallium, if it is what I think it is, a small amount of gallium will destroy anything made of aluminum, including aluminum cans. So if you look at aluminum, which I already forgot where the fuck it is. Is it aluminum? Is no, that's gold. I forgot the name of it, the letter. But it should be in this table here because it's just metallic metalloids, or transition metals as they call it. Tungsten. Okay, I have no fucking clue what aluminum is. Just give me just some time. Oh, bromine, for example, I know that it reacts with air. It has like a fucking heavy gas that if you smell that shit, you're gonna fucking gonna have a good time. I'm sorry, am I fucking blind? Where's aluminum? Aluminium, as some of you would like to say, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm blind, right? Aluminum. Oh, there you go. Fucking hell. It's in yeah, there you go. Gallium and aluminum, right? In the same group. Completely adversary reaction because they will eat through fucking steel and pretty much anything that is brittle. And there's gallium, and they're in the same group, but they have adversary reaction. It's not that property that matters. It's not the fucking color of gallium, which I think is pretty close to aluminum. They have the same color. The fuck does it matter? If something is everything, that means it's nothing. Yeah, like, why are we questioning these things? Yeah, like aluminum, for the most part, the natural color is gray. Pretty much almost the same tone. The fuck does it matter? It's not relevant. None of what he's saying is relevant. These things have been organized by these fucking properties. Could have been something else. Sure, you call something else differently. But this is a periodic table that sets every element that we know in the universe. You also have these outside groups and shit, like they've been added. It just happens. It's not like it's flawed because of that.
Was just expanding, like wrapping a rag around your hand. The first wrap, you know, it's so tight. The very first wrap is so tight. That's the first one that Walter Russell did, yeah. But go back to the wiggly one. This is how I saw it more so, but as a vortex. But
Thought I told you, man. Now it's a fucking vortex. It's not even a circle anymore. Oh, man. Yeah, do better, Joe. Remember being inside of your mom. Logic's issue, man. Terrence Howard is a prime example, is when people think they're being famous automatically makes them smart. This guy literally straight up said, you know what? I'm going to create a whole fucking science with my name. The fucking thing is called teriology. And people take him seriously. So if you ever get mad, right? If you ever get mad at people like are this fucking stupid, you can't fight stupid. It's gonna happen. Some people are gonna find logic in this. Let them. You don't want to connect with these people. They mean fucking nothing to you. It's just recently, today, I've been looking to like the whole, I don't know why, there was a Facebook post that kind of guided me to study about like the squirting thing, and I already heard articles about the whole squirting thing, like girls wet the whole bed, and then they shame men like, oh, you can't make your girl like this, you're a loser. And I was like, I knew for this a long time, but I decided to double down and research even further. And there's so many articles, I don't even know why they made so many experiments, because it's pretty obvious. They told a girl that said, hey, do you squirt? Oh, yeah, I do squirt. I filled the whole bed with my liquids. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to pay you a few bucks or whatever the fuck, I guess, for an experiment. And we would like to MRI your bladder, right? And then you go with your partner into a room. You guys do the deed. And when you come out, you tell us, sorry, I apologize to the fucking mic. You tell us, okay, you know what? I squirted. And we do another MRI again. And what they found was pretty obvious. Almost 100% of the women, they had an empty bladder. It's pee, right? But unfortunately, we still have this amount of people that see the signs, see what has been defined as like, oh, pee is usually what has this property, this and that, and it comes out of the urethra. They see all that shit being scientifically proven, and they go, I don't trust this study. Motherfucker, this is not a religion. There's nothing to trust. It's something for you to see, and for you something to observe. You can ask questions. That's not a problem. But for you to say, I don't trust this, what the fuck? It's literally a bladder being emptied. What the fuck do you think is in a bladder, man? It is crazy to me that people see scientific shit and you go like, I'm going to question this. But not only are you going to question, I'm going to make it not make sense. One thing is completely fine, is for you to question things. That's the whole point of science, for you to question things that we thought were already certain. But if you have no articles, you have no fucking proof, you have no evidence, which is kind of gets paired up. You have a terrible control group, demographic makes no sense, sample size is way too small. I don't give a shit what the fuck you think something is. You have no basis for what you're claiming. But you can talk with these people, no matter how many times you tell them, "Oh, it's P." When it's that amount, that like there's no organ in the female body that can produce that much, right? So by just the laws of physics, it is impossible for you. If you had someone come too close to you and say, "You know what? I have this ping pong ball that can hold the same amount of water than a whole pool, an Olympic swimming pool." What the fuck are you gonna say, right? Like, get the fuck out of me. Like, are you gonna pull a magician's trick or some shit like that? Because I'm not interested if you think that's for real. Because that's impossible. Physically impossible. The laws of physics. It's not like, oh, a theory. It's impossible. So when people see the studies and they literally see a bladder being empty, a bladder being full before and then empty, and you question that shit, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you. What the fuck are we going to talk about? You are not in the same level of discussion here. In other words, they pee when they get excited. And I know why people, some of them have a hard time admitting that because they believe like getting peed on is so shameful. And listen, I understand it can be funny and shit. We can laugh and crack jokes. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to judge you. I don't care. When you talk about girls and, swallowing, man's product, let's say it like that, it's also kind of like gross when you think about it, but during sex, a lot of people just do gross shit. It's fine. It's between two consenting adults. Who gives a fuck? So I don't give a shit if it's pee or not. But this incessant need for people to defend themselves like, oh, it's not pee because they don't want to gross themselves out. Like, you gotta work within that emotion, not the facts. You gotta fight against something that makes sense. And fighting against facts is really fucking hard when you don't have them. Right? And I don't know, man. How can you talk to these people, man? It normally means an UTI or the pelvic floor or something isn't strong enough. You know what's more concerning about that whole squirting thing, Susano? I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. The biggest problem with that is that women use this to shame other women when they don't squirt. They shame men that don't make women squirt. And that is so confusing to me. Why would you do that? Why do you instill people's insecurity based on something that you do? That is not even scientifically correct for you to say like, oh no, it's a liquid that comes out because, like, you can tell me, oh, I pee because I get that excited. It's amazing to me. That's cool. It might be a good sign if you pee in bed. Who knows? I don't give a fuck. But it is not anything else other than pee. Oh, it has 2% of something else. Cool. In most guys' pee urine test, there's gonna be a little bit of sperm in that shit. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden stops being pee. It's just that you have 2% of something in something else. But I'm sorry, I didn't want to deviate the conversation to squirting all of a sudden. All I mean is that scientifically, when you have things that say, we know for a fact, we have evidence that this is true. You cannot deal with your emotions, man. And this whole thing of Terrence going like, oh, I have to question everything, you don't have to find a flaw in everything. Some things are just defined the way that they are. You want to make a new periodic table, okay? You want to make a table about elements that connect with them between each other because they have certain colors, they have certain properties. That's cool by me. But don't start saying shit like I'm gonna rewrite it because it makes no sense. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Let me activate the chat box here because this might be a problem because I don't have this configured the right way. How we were supposed to use this, Terrence? Exactly. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? Like, what is the relevancy of that? Hold on a sec. My chat box is down below. That's not optimal to be down there, man, but it's better than nothing, I guess, right? Right. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, a lot of women deal with those issues after childbirth. Yes, it pretty much loosens the pelvic floor. Hey, I'm playing No Rest for the Wicked, so whatever is being talked about is fine. There you go. These things are just listenable. I'm trying to make a second channel, and I really want to commit to at least one format where I can just upload, not daily, but very frequently with no hassle. Right? And I'm thinking of doing, like, you know, while I'm riding my car, because sometimes I go to the mall and shit like that. I use that time to record some, you know, some cool reaction shit. But yeah, these listenables, man, it really has taken over YouTube and shit like that. People just tune into a stream just to listen. And I like that. I really like that. It's a new form of, like, radio.
You'll see there's a relationship between hydrogen, carbon, silicon, cobalt, rhodium. They're all bonded. They're all as the middle point between two noble gases. So those things don't really exist. It's only one substance. Now, the problem is the first thing that we're able to perceive is hydrogen. That's the first visible element, because before it is too dense for us to perceive it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But as you reach into the next octave, the carbon octave, and they call that a bisexual tone, because the carbon.
I thought that guy was joking in the fucking comments, man. I thought he was joking. He literally said that. I have to look into this new periodic table, man. That shit sounds crazy, man. That's fucking. Who is the guy? I already forgot. New periodic table. I can't even find it. So fucking, like, what is this? What kind of cancer is this, man? You can't see it properly. What kind of fucking cancer is this, man? It looks like a fucking cancerous cell. All right. No, I need to see that shit. Something Howard, right? The last name of the guy was... No, that's this guy. What the fuck was his name? I've seen it in liquid form, hydrogen. Yeah, sure, you can see it in liquid. No, he's talking about the actual element, like the fucking atom. How am I gonna search this, man? Spiral periodic table. I don't know. Fucking what? Like, Jesus Christ, what is this? Good Lord, man. Who is supposed to fucking understand any of this? Let me put it on the... What the fuck is this? I really want to find the fucking shit he's talking about. Okay, I have to look into
Nitrogen. They're all did, yeah. Tight. The very first rap is so tight. That's the first one that Walter Russell did, yeah.
Russell, okay, something Russell. These no. No. What the fuck am I looking at, dude? What the fuck is this? What kind of abomination is this, dude? Yo, what is this? A black hole? I'm not even sure. Sistema periódico de los elementos. No, this has nothing to do with fucking. This is what he's looking at. Krypton. Is Krypton an actual thing, man? What is it? I never heard of that element. It's a chemical element. Colorless, odorless, tasteless, noble gas. Okay. Imagine having this when you're studying in high school, dude. What the fuck am I supposed? How am I gonna pass the test? All I see is yin yang in this. So, like, the motherfuckers wrote yin yang in between the lines. What is this? Oh my, I just, I'm not gonna complain about this guy. This guy had an idea. I was like, okay, fuck it. Terrence is the one that going like, you know what? We need to rewrite it like this. No, we don't. No, we don't. We absolutely do not need.
But go back to the wiggly one.
The wiggly one. That cracks me up, dude. Funny trend. Yeah. I'm gonna try to do something about that. Not a chemical engineer, but I don't see how any of this would help understand. Like, no, the periodic table is supposed to be simplistic. Like, do you think when it comes to elements, that's all scientists look at, the periodic table? No. Like, but it's the most relevant thing for people that are normal, let's say like that are not engineers, to know how this works out. Engineers, scientists, right? That's all eyesores. They look like a circumnavigation aids. That shit looks like the whole fucking, what is it? Sea maps? Old ones. I forget, I don't know how you say it in English, man. But kind of like this. This is what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Jesus Christ, what am I looking at, dude? Nah, man. Nah.
This is how I saw it more so. They all sit as the middle point between two noble gases. So those things don't really exist. It's only one substance. Now, the problem is, the first thing that we're able to perceive is hydrogen. That's the first visible element, because before it is too dense for us to perceive it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But as you reach into the next octave, the carbon octave, and they call that a bisexual tone, because the carbon has two tones to it. It has a negative side and a positive side. The part where lithium behaves.
Do you mean bipolar, man? What the fuck, bisexual?
A bisexual tone. Carbon octave, and they call that a bisexual tone, because the carbon has
no. I have huge problem believing somebody fucking calls it that.
Tone, sexual tone, because the carbon they call that a bisexual tone.
No, dude, I'm even scared to fucking research this shit. No. Tone. I were by fucking 3 bisexual tones, man. No, dude, no. It's so bad for you to use the wrong terms when you are making a scientific argument. Imagine if you say bisexual tone. Not bipolar tone, nah. Bisexual. Nobody fucking called this. Nobody. I have tits for some reason. Yeah, no, my guy, I'm confused too. Nobody calls it this. This has nothing to do with physics. Straight psychotic sounding, detached from reality. It better be a method acting, dude.
Because the carbon has two tones to it. It has a negative side and a positive side. The part where lithium behaves, lithium is contractive. Beryllium is contractive. Boron is contractive, but the moment you get to carbon, you balance it out. It gets to a perfect balance of plus and minus 4. So it's a double tone. Then nitrogen is...
You could have said double tone too. This bisexual thing is making less and less sense. Did you take your lithium today, Terrace?
Minus 3,1. Minus 3. Oxygen is minus 2. Fluorine is minus 1. Now the balance of this, all of those are mates. Fluorine and lithium naturally mate. If you have lithium bonded with any other element, the moment that fluorine is introduced, it will break all bonds violently so it can bond with fluorine. Same thing with beryllium and oxygen. That's why it said, and what they've tried to keep from us, if you...
This is accessible information. Nobody has kept anything from us. Nobody ever said, you know what? If you have a question about the periodic table about that, and we're just going to deny it. Nobody has denied that those elements do have those properties. It's just that it's incredibly non-relevant for the periodic table. Why is any of this relevant? What the fuck?
You want to break water into its component parts of hydrogen and oxygen. All you have to do is introduce beryllium or the sound of beryllium. And oxygen will violently break away from any other thing, even hydrogen, to bond with that beryllium. And now you can have it just with the frequency of it. And since the hydrogen is smaller, hydrogen will, that waveform, you can send that up into one tube, the oxygen into another tube, without using electrolysis, without using heat. It was just through frequency. And the proof of it, if you go back up just a little bit higher, we know the relationship between sodium and chlorine. They're equal and opposite mates. If you get out of the pool and you got chlorine and you're itching from the chlorine, all you have to do is get some real salt and rub that on your skin, and it'll turn right into an oil.
I don't know if this is a face of Joe Rogan being interested, or is, like, even him, sometimes he thinks like the craziest theories just out of fun. He's getting lost in this.
Naturally neutralizes each other. So everything has an equal and opposite mate. The lithium becomes sodium in the next octave.
Again, none of this makes any sense for the periodic table. This is such a fucking delusion, man. Yes, well, 1 multiplying by 1 is also 2. That's something that he also fucking said. I think that's even worse than 1 multiplying by 0. Because that's something that even as kids, at least we questioned that. Look at this guy. I just, for fun, did a double check, and he's correct. So the table shows the size of the nucleus, and it's determined by the frequency. But I'm not sure we should use the term tone. Hydrogen is at F minor. So the genetic sequence is pre-programmed, and if big nucleus comes into a small nucleus, it shatters to bonds. So to simplify it, there's a game called I Blob Big Eat Small. Source Looney Tunes. Yeah, no, this guy did. Oh, I'm kind of addicted though. This is genius. Did he really? Oh, this is like a montage? Man, that... Oh, I would love that. If this was real, this would be fucking lovely, man.
I didn't come into this world the way everybody else does. My first memory was inside my mother's womb.
Okay. Sorry. You talk among yourselves. What?
So you believe that the sun is the origin of these planets?
Of all the planets. Every solar
solar
system within its solar system gives birth.
And how does the sun give birth to these planets?
The same way we defecate and have gas, like...
No. I have to find this fucking gem, dude. No. No, you have to show me. No. That defecate thing... No, dude. No, wait. I gotta find that shit. Sun. Let's just say sun. It's not sun like that. What the fuck? It did say that somewhere in there. Wait, no. Is it in this video? No, dude, no. He can't possibly. No.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Here's the thing, though. Like, the sun is responsible for creating... No, wait. I may even be confusing. I don't want to say bullshit either. The sun... Because I remember that basically planets are the solidification, I guess, of multiple galactic objects that clump up together and then But I don't know if the sun caused that. Did sun connect, build, create planets? The sun and the planets form together 4.6. They form together 4.6 billion, form a cloud of gas and dust called solar nebula. A shockwave from a nearby supernova explosion probably initiated the collapse of the solar nebula. The sun formed in the center, and the planets formed in a thin disk orbiting around it. So they most likely were created all at the same time. But the idea of a supernova spewing out shit, almost quite literally, I guess, and then, you know, that becoming a planet, yeah, sure, that's how planets come from. That's where the planets come from. But for the sun to do that shit to all celestial beings, we just get to be lucky to be the third planet or fourth. I don't remember exactly where we are. All of a sudden, like we're the world, like we're so close to the center of the universe. Why does he say that? That's what fucking baffles me, man. Where does he pick up this information?
Everything, all motion is expressed in waves. All waves are expressed in curves.
Let me see if someone has a timed... Ah, shit. The mobile thing has a filter. I have to go to the fucking comment section. I gotta look into... Neil Smoke Grass Tyson over here. So if Terrence have one banana and I take his banana away, Terrence would still have a banana. Oh man, I want to see that solar shit.
It always makes spark. Thing that's connected to it has to be still. There can never be one thing still. So as and die,
everything gets old and die. And does everything recompress?
Has to. And you breathe out. What happens to that air? Another planet. Those higher electrical fields. But everything in the universe is just electricity. And we call it magnetism when it's devitalized, but it's still electricity. We call the certain point, what do they hit? There's other expanding stars and...
Okay.
So as the sun expands, everything gets old and die. And does everything recompress?
Has to. And you breathe out, what happens to that air? Another plant breathes that air in.
So would this be the universe itself? Would it be galaxies? Would it be...
Everything. Behaves the same way.
So as the sun expands and projects and ejects particles, they expand, they go further and further from the sun, and at a certain point, they come back.
Well, at a certain point, what do they hit? There's other expanding stars and
so like waves collide.
Well, wait, isn't he going against what he just fucking said? So if the sun creates everything, how can there be other stars that... I think he's losing his own fucking script right now. Or am I the one not genuinely understanding what he's fucking trying to say? It's very confusing with this guy. I'm sorry if this doesn't seem logical to me. He said, oh, the sun pretty much created everything. Okay, so where the fuck did the other stars come from? To me, it's like he read into these ideas and failed to understand it. Yeah, he read halfway and it was like, you know what, I can do better. This is narcissistic behavior, if that's true, right? You're just chilling at a party and there's always that one guy blabbering about mystical nonsense. Yeah. But usually those guys are high. They have an excuse. This guy isn't. It sounds like weed talk to me. The meme on this fucking shit is ridiculous,
yes,
man.
From the other star systems. They have an expanding, what is the thing, the solar wind. They have expanding solar winds. Mm-hmm. So when they meet our star meets the solar wind from another star at that end of that spot. Now there's two pressure conditions. So you have another Lagrange spot that's happening there. That's when those waves start coming back, but they get hit. And if they hit at 120 degrees, because that's how the universe is arranged, now these things become electric. So they, instead of coming from the planar side and expanding out at the equator, they now come back up from the northern and southern parts.
So does this account for stellar nurseries?
Yes. All of these things are just pressure conditions hitting each other. And they're causing that. That's where the Birkeland currents are running through, those higher electrical fields. But everything...
Pressure in space? Dude, the fucking... Again, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a scientist on this. I'm a specialist on this shit. But every time they talk about converging pressures and all that kind of shit, they usually talk about what? Weather, because there's wind and shit like that. And the whole solar wind shit, I'm not even sure if that's a fucking thing. Solar winds. But usually, what you have in space is natural movements on orbit. Nothing to do with winds, because wind obviously would mean air in space, and that doesn't exist. I'm not sure what the fuck he's talking about solar winds, man. Is a stream of charged particles released from the upper atmosphere of the sun, called the corona. This plasma mostly consists, so this is not air really, like the solar wind is an expression, it's plasma mostly that consists of electrons, protons, and alpha particles. Okay, so it's kind of like a storm that kind of spreads out. And as it is mine, this shit creates a pressure. But don't these pressures happen around the fucking star? Not like one that hits another. The astronomical luck of what he has, everything that he's mentioning, the astronomical luck that it would have to be for two things to bounce off each other like that in space, it's fucking ridiculous. What is he even talking about, man? I think he reads like individually, he reads each of these concepts and he goes like, you know what? I think if two things like that hit between each other in space, there's still pressure that makes them repel against each other. What grounds do you say that? Where the fuck is the evidence that would suggest that's what happens, man? No worries, Susanna. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it, man. I think this is the first time Joe thought, damn, am I not high enough for this conversation? I would be tripping. I would be thinking like I smoked something without realizing.
In the universe, it's just electricity. And we call it magnetism when it's devitalized, but it's still electricity. We call the radiative side, it's the feminine side. And the contractive side is the positive, masculine side. It's a balance, and it's never been anything but that balance, and we've complicated it with a lie.
If you're right, so many people are wrong.
Everyone's wrong. Oh, well, the universe.
No, man, you can't say shit like that. Everyone's wrong. I know, but this is some narcissism. This is a level of narcissism. Straight up, there's nothing more to it.
The universe backs me up, and I have the proof of it. You have all these physicists that's saying something different, but none of them have 97 patents. None of them have introduced a new form of flight with unlimited mid-air bonding.
Oh shit, that's true. This guy created a new form of flying, dude. No way. Oh man. Dennis Howard. New form of flight. Oh man, dude. Says he reinvented physics, wants to give Uganda new forms of flight.
You know, I was born Terrence Deshaun Howard. I've become an actor. You know, I've been nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes and SAG Awards, but those weren't the things that really moved me. As a child, I studied chemical engineering at Pratt Institute, was there for 2 years until I saw that there was an inconsistency with the math there. And so I went out to explore a new way of understanding how the universe works, and I was able to define the grand unified field equation they've been looking for and put it into geometry. And then with that geometry, I was able to put props on that. And what I'm saying is now we have invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda to replace the drones, to replace the helicopters, to replace the planes. We have all the funding necessary. What we need is just a fertile ground in which to build this. Now, this is the geometry of hydrogen. Of hydrogen. Hydrogen. This is the proton itself. So any bond that hydrogen can make, our linchpins are able to make. So we're talking about unlimited bonding, unlimited predictable structure.
This guy is exhausting. This is exhausting. Some people take it seriously, man. I cannot fucking... Whatever that chemistry or geometry means, and if it makes economic sense, good that there's already funding for the project. Let the same funding privately secure land in Uganda on lease, and government only gives paper approval. No free land. What the fuck? Are you concerned about that shit? Not about the guy who's selling fucking snake oil? Dude, Jesus Christ.
None of them have discovered 4 supersymmetrical systems. This is what we've done. This is what the collective is able to do when you put yourself into the divine space. Because that spirit is waiting. It's just like, okay, are you going to make yourself available for it?
So let me ask you this. If I had a magic wand and I allowed you to not just show this, but allowed all of these people that have these opposing ideas, you debate them, you duke it out, you emerge victorious, okay? With this magic wand, and now people go, just listen to Terrence. What do we do?
Well, then once we write new axioms and new postulates based off the real wave conjugations. Now we adjust.
There's something inherently very sad. Something inherently very sad about someone. There's people that have some intelligence, for example, Elon Musk, that create things, and sometimes they say stupid shit the same way that we say stupid shit. But it's really fucking sad when you see someone that truly believes in what they say. They truly believe they're smarter than fucking everyone else. They're the next Newton. It's just that it happened that they had very bad luck in not showing it up. Like, no. This is sad. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is if it is marketing or some shit like that, but this is fucking sad. I might watch a little bit more, but Jesus Christ, this makes my head hurt. Jesus. My guy.
But we call that once. But the moment that you add the times in there, that multiplicative indicator, that means there's more than one.
And it was so insane.
You say rebuild the periodic table. What do you mean specifically?
This happened like a week and a half ago, and I've just been watching stuff on it for that much time because I can't believe that it's out there. I can't believe that it's out there.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom.
Yeah, no, I think we saw the gems. Jesus Christ. No, I gotta. We gotta move past that. Oh my god, these guys. The fuck. That's not even worthy of actually watching a whole fucking video. But that shit was the fucking billionaire. This is a quick news. The billionaire says, like, you know what? It's actually safer. We're gonna go and try it again. What the fuck? Alright. Definition of insanity, I suppose. Do it until the same fucking thing, expecting otherwise. Oh, yeah, I do want to see what the fuck they released for PlayStation. Excuse me. Hellboy.
Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
Oh my god. Hell no, man.
Shit, what the fuck is this, huh?
Get your ass on.
Boring. No, the battery.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
It's a fucking remaster, man.
War is coming. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have the PSN shit. Alright, great.
Someone must act.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
Oh, is that... Oh, shit. Is that the Marvel fucking thing? Ugh. Just a fucking reskin of Overwatch, man. Why are we still on this, man? I guess people kind of like desperate because Overwatch 2 flopped a little bit. But why do we keep with the same goddamn fucking formats, man? Like, we're tired of this. Yeah, no, it's Overwatch, man. Like, what the fuck? I just... You know, when Paladin... People were mocking Paladin because the Paladin is like Overwatch. Yeah, but it's a free version of it. I guess, like, that's fine if it's a free alternative kind of shit. But this fucking thing, we don't need it. God damn it, Marvel Heroes on fucking with an Overwatch spice, man. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know what that was. So, hold on a second. They have no original IP other than this one? Because, I mean, I remember this one being pretty... People liked it. So that's the only original IP they're gonna have. That's it. That was it. The only thing that is a salvation is a fucking demo for PlayStation. That's cool. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh. Let's see. Entertainment-wise, man, I think we're going through a little bit of a slow... I mean, we went through a phase where we were having some good games being released and shit with Helldivers 2, obviously. That indie game, Lethal Company and shit like that. But we're going back to our fucking ways of developing. Like, there's new games coming out, but it's the same fucking shit every single time. Okay, that's the same video we're talking about. Oh, this whole thing of Stellar Blade. What the fuck was up with that whole Stellar Blade shit? Why were people freaking out about that? Was it because was this the one that people were like, oh my god, there's a pretty lady with titties out, and they were like having a problem with that shit? Controversy, I guess let's call it that. Really? The developers have been lambasted by some players for focusing on a titillation, I'm sorry, excuse me, in a bid to court lustful male gamers. Critics have argued that, yeah, you mean the biggest fucking demographic for the game? Imagine this whole extreme of, like, you know, since girls don't have anything, guys can't have either. Like, you girls can ask for, like, hotter guys and shit like that in your games. That's fine. But why do we have to do the opposite of actually having to downgrade the male side of the industry because you don't get your own? Like, why are we so incessantly in having less attractive characters? Because, I mean, you look at God of War, man. The guy is not unattractive, you know what I mean? Like, the guy is supposed to represent virility or masculinity and shit like that, right? He doesn't have, even when he is older, he doesn't have a dead body either. Like, yeah, this guy is fucking huge, right? What was it? Wasn't what is his name? The guy from Mortal Kombat, Johnny Cage. That's his name, right? Outfits. I'm pretty sure he's also kind of like, yeah. Nobody complains about this. Right? Didn't see any complaints about this. We didn't see complaints about God of War. We don't see complaints about any of that shit. And people believe all of a sudden, like, what we have to take off is this. Something that people do like to see. Shit, even girls will... I know for a fact girls like to see this shit. It's attractive. What this whole idea, like, oh, this controversial to look good. What the fuck? It's a game. Especially a fantasy game. Stellar Blade is a fucking fantasy game. Why should we have good bodies in it? People freaked out, claiming it was censored. Later, they added those skins back to the game. I don't get it. Was it this? Was it this? This is a problem? Sorry, I mean, you're not... This is a problem? I think we are always like this, I guess, in a bit. It's not just a modern thing, but why do we have such a big concern about attractive women, man? Like, they are not... You don't have to... How should I phrase this? You don't have to downgrade or dismiss, right, attractive women to make other women acceptable. This whole idea, like, it usually applies when, for example, people like to argue about the sexes, you know, like, oh, women do this, oh, men do this, oh, the bear, I would take the bear. When they go into those arguments, they always have to dismiss the other gender's problems to make their own seem grand. And you don't have to do that. If you girls say, you know what, we don't have enough games that have male guys, you know, showing their, you know, muscles, which it's a fucking lie, to be honest, because, you know, Nuke Nukem, Duke Nukem, I'm sorry. I was confused. This dyslexia. Yeah, no, I was right. This thing, I don't see people fucking complaining about it, and we had this in the industry for a long time. This is an old-ass fucking game. I'm not even sure what's the latest one they did. Right? There's a video that I've seen how in entertainment guys are getting ridiculously fucking big. Like, back in the day, Adam West being Batman, he was like a slender man, like he wasn't anything grand. And now you have fucking Robert Pattinson's going like, you know, the regimen of training is ridiculous. I think it was him. Robert Pattinson admits training too hard. Something like that. Says he doesn't want to physically train for Batman during quarantine. I think if you're working out all the time, you're part of the problem. You're a president. Yeah, no one was doing this in the 70s. Even James Dean, he wasn't exactly ripped. And this is a point. This is an exact point. This is something that we should be talking about. Because Adam West, for example, as a Batman, he wasn't muscly. Yeah, like, there was nothing about it. Like, okay, he had a little bit of like contour there, but that's it. That's Adam West. Like, that's what the male pattern, the male, what is it? Pattern, not pattern. What the fuck do I mean? Standard, right? Of beauty, I guess, in a certain way, would be this, right? Not a lot of muscle. And now you see fucking what was it? What is his name? Christian Bale, Batman shirtless, right? Nobody talks about, like, nobody talks about this. Like, this is expectable. This is fine. You can achieve this, right? But having someone like this is a problem. Because there's no girls with the fuck is this, D cup? This is not ridiculous. DD cup, maybe. Like, what's the problem? Why is this a controversy? Why are we wasting our breaths on this? For the longest time, nobody complains about, like, how, you know, this is ridiculously always shown in Hollywood. Have you guys seen what is the fucking name? Iron Claw? Was it Iron Claw? Yeah, Iron Claw. Look at this, like, the fucking way that he trained to have this. Like, when you look at the actual movie, there's some angles where he doesn't look even human. This motherfucker looks like a bolt, right? Nobody complains about this shit. But then all of a sudden, like, this is an outrageous outfit. It's normal. Jesus Christ, man. To freak out about this, it's so fucking wasteful of people's attention for no reason. Like, this is ridiculous. Why do they have to wait? What the? Come on. Well, and also, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this whole movement of like free the titty and, or free the nipple and shit like that, wasn't about like showing more? Wasn't that empowering? How is this not empowering then? Oh, it's because the guys are making it. What the fuck? And I want to say that the whole idea of like, oh, demographic for men, and like the fact that most games are fantasies for men or some shit like that. Like, what's the problem there then? Like, we're the ones who pay the most. You look at the demographic when it comes to money, and you know when it comes to full price games like, you know, fucking Call of Duties and shit like that. Like, we're the biggest demographic. Of course they're gonna try to please us. I don't think, this is not to make an argument that there should be no appeal for women. Like, for example, I personally play a girly game like Sims. I love fucking Sims, right? And I know for a fact girls like to keep the guys with a fucking shirt off. And that's fine. It's a game. You do whatever the fuck you want. I simply don't understand this idea that you have to reduce the other side to increase the other one. You don't have to balance it that way. Just tell developers, hey, you know what, make guys a little bit hotter. Maybe, I don't know. They didn't free the nipple, so not enough. Yeah, like, some of it was a marketing thing, fake controversies. The other part is ESG score thing in the part. Yeah, so they most likely just flagged it as very inappropriate, even though it wasn't. By having a body that screams unobtainable beauty standards for women. That's unobtainable? Like, I understand there's girls with A cups and shit like that, but that, when it comes to like her body, other than that, there's nothing too radical here. Like, the shape is okay, it's attractive. I'm not saying that all women look like. It's attractive, but this is not unobtainable, man. There's girls that can look like this. Do they have to? They don't. But this unobtainable shit is so fucking stupid. Is an attractive woman. I'll tell you that. Is it obtainable? No. If she had humongous, like we're talking about, you know, hentai, sure. You know, like if those women existed in real life, they would be walking, you know, slouched. I understand then. But this, considering it's a game, it's an animated fucking, they could have gone even more extreme. It is not. I sincerely do not understand. I do not understand. Korea's beauty standards are insane. This is nothing compared to what goes on there. Dude, Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, they don't give a fuck when it comes to the entertainment and what do you put in their games in terms of like how women look and shit like that. They don't give a fuck. Like, Japanese industry, especially the Japanese game developers, they'll put any jokes in the fucking game. They don't care. You see Yakuza and shit like that, they don't care. Yakuza is a game about like a gangster and he starts singing and shit like that. Like, they don't care. Even Resident Evil to a certain extent was really cool, and then they kind of had to give in for the Western market. But back in the day, they also didn't give a fuck about giving the girl a nice skirt and shit. We're just becoming allergic to good shit. I don't know, man. It's kind of sad. Again, it's also a fantasy game. Of course, I'm not expecting women to walk around like that, but nobody does. Sorry, I keep forgetting you can't see it like that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I need pixels on that shit. Here, you can see the body shape in this one. Actually, I have to do it like this. Oh my god, dude. Okay, the resolution in these photos are fucking dog shit, but... Okay, there you go. There's nothing ridiculous about this. I'm sorry, but there's nothing ridiculous about this. Does every woman look like this? Absolutely not. Do they have to? No. Is it unobtainable? No. You can tell me maybe, oh, an A-cup girl is not going to have something like that. Sure. Even though we're going to try to forget that, push-up bras exist. Even if we forget that, okay? Is it unobtainable to have like a slender figure? Like her hips are not fucking ridiculous. Her waist doesn't go like boom, It's normal. It's fine. Our arms are not like extremely slender that would cause you to say like, oh, they're pushing for anorexia or some shit like that. Like, no. This is normal. Is this the average woman? No, it's not. But it doesn't have to be. It's a fucking game. When you think about Joel, or when you think about a game like The Last of Us, which is a serious or a game that is supposed to be realistic. Fuck, I have to put the game now. Yeah, Pedro Pascal is not an unattractive dude, and he's representing Joel, right? But even Joel in the game is not an unattractive. You're gonna tell me he's not muscly. He's not a, when you talk about unobtainable, for example, I can't grow a beard like him. I can't grow a beard like him. His body type, I don't have that. The hair is long fucking gone, as you can see. Is this unobtainable? Am I going to be upset that this guy looks way better than me? No, it's a fucking game. People tend to link up with people that look good. Is it superficial? Of course it is. It's a fucking game. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Why people freak out about this shit. It's wasting breath on something that shouldn't be wasted on, in my opinion. America has started influencing Japanese developers. Absolutely. The Resident Evil kind of already went through that. First game, but back in the day, like, they didn't give a shit. First game, it was fine, looks close enough. Yeah. Oh, what does look close enough? If it's me, not even close. But yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, the outfits are revealing. Again, I think they're supposed to be. It's a fucking fantasy game. Again, I really don't feel like there's a problem there. There's some games out there that are outlandish. This one isn't one of them. Oh yeah, let's talk about the fact that like these guys on social media exist, right?
If you could consolidate.
Nobody's fucking talking shit about this. Like when it comes to unobtainable beauty standards for women, yeah, sure, they talk loud. What about this? And you'll have dudes. I think there's the difference between usually. I'm not saying all, but a lot of guys and a lot of women. A lot of women are going to be like, that's unobtainable. I don't want anyone looking better than me. So that makes it easier for them to be on top. But a dude, when a dude looks at this and he goes like, you know what, I can't obtain that, but let me get close to it. And I think that's a much healthier mindset, unless you really do go on steroids and shit like that, which makes it very unhealthy. I would say like this body type is almost impossible, so don't go for this, but go for something more realistic than this. But even with this in existence, guys don't go like, oh, this guy needs to be banned or some shit like that. Nobody cares. It's a guy who's showing off his fucking... Does he use steroids? Maybe. Who knows? I don't personally know this guy or even watch his content. But he has a ridiculous fucking body. Don't see dudes fucking complaining about this shit. Trying to take him down or something. So, I'm sorry, but this whole idea of like, oh, we have to push down, on the male fantasy thing, like, why? Are we also not worthy of fucking pleasure?
Does have great genetics. This type of muscle growth is unobtainable without steroids. He himself has talked about how...
Meanwhile, most dudes are like, yeah, I'm still going to try to get close to it. Is it unobtainable? For the most part, it is. But even with this shit, nobody's like... Guys literally injecting themselves with drugs. We don't care. We sleep. Someone makes a game with an artificial woman looking good. We have a problem. Really? We do? Do you think Rockstar will hold back? I thought the GTA 6 trailer was the most controversial and stereotypical one to date. I kind of like the trailer because when you think about the trailers, GTA 5 didn't have the best trailer either. It was very generic in the sense of what they showed, so I think they should be fine. We'll see. The leaks are more concerning because they didn't make it sound good. Like the dialogue was kind of cheesy the way they were talking about the Life Invader guy. So, we'll see. Standards are different everywhere. Men go for the message, women go for the looks. That's why you have every kid drooling over Goku. Have you ever heard of the Lego experiment between men and women? I believe it was the fact... No, wait, I might be confusing. I heard about an experiment between, like... if you're talking... I think you might be talking about that one. They did it a slightly different... It wasn't with Legos, the one that I saw. But I remember pretty much people saying, you know, the studies concluding that guys are usually, especially when they're children, they are attracted to, you know, action figures because they want to be them. Like, guys build things that they want to be, while women or girls, when they are young, they play with things that represents them currently, right? So that's why there was always a lot of women that had a problem with Barbies, and they wanted Barbies that looked like them. While guys didn't. Guys wanted you know, action figures to be muscly and shit like that, to have an objective. So is it that? Yeah, I saw about that. It's a common psychological thing between, especially children, but it carries over to older ages, such as men and women. Yeah, we pretty much want to become something. Women want that thing to become them. I don't think it's inherently bad, either one of them, but it does highlight how differently we view the world. Guys like to build themselves to become something, while women want something to become themselves, right? For something to be their image. I don't know, I think it's a bit healthier, at least personally, to myself. I like to build myself. It takes time, but there's a satisfaction in obtaining something that you thought it was unobtainable. But yeah, I heard about that experiment. I don't want to eat what he eats. Like, we make a compromise. I know I'm not going to get like him. Or even anything close. There's guys that don't use steroids and they're very muscly, and I'm still going like, looks good, I don't want it. Jesus Christ, the fucking I was just distracted by how far the mics have to go. Oh my god, what is this? This channel is usually rage bait, but let me see.
That game's doing for Warner. Oh wait, they lost another 100 players.
Jesus Christ.
How low can it go? 24-hour peak of 384 players on Steam.
Suicide Squad is getting sad. Alright, I don't know if many of you are really caring about Suicide Squad, but this shit is fucking ridiculous. Let me see the count. I don't think I've ever seen a game from a company like Rocksteady. Like, they're not Rockstar in terms of numbers, actual numbers, but a AAA company flop this hard. Honestly, man, I don't think I remember. Sam Solo can't even talk without breathing heavily. It seems like the kind a cool dude, but yeah, that shit is. My God, they're already at 60. No fucking way, man. That is just sad. Did they make it permanent? No, $70, but they're going for 27. That is sad, dude. Did you see the new Astrobot game trailer? We may have Mario competitor. I'm not even joking. I don't even know what Astrobot is. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, we just saw that on. Yes. I think as soon as you arrived, we ended up seeing this. Fantasy violence, dude. What the fuck? You know, I saw a little bit of it. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Astrobot was the demo for the PlayStation, right? I remember it on the PlayStation 4. Was it Astrobot, or am I confusing with something else? But I remember having, like, there was this little bot that it would show you the features of the fucking console and shit like that. But the fact that they, as I said, when I saw the state of play kind of like video from Nick Tech, it does seem like the first or the only original IP that the PlayStation showed in the fucking state of play. And that's sad, but it does look good. Exactly, like that is true. Like the control, like this, the demo pretty much use every bit of the controller for the PlayStation. I think I even used the controller better than on PC than most PlayStation developers, because you know I can actually customize with SteamDB the touchpad to do pretty much a lot of things. And this game was always like a house. What would you call it? An in-house build that always showed the best of the PlayStation. It does look good. That's so cute, man. Yeah, I like the color, man. Yeah, it's kind of like a Mario. Also a little bit of Ratchet & Clank. But yes, it does seem like an actual use, a good use of IP. Yeah, the best game of the whole state of play presentation. Yep, absolutely. The Playroom, that's what it is. Fuck me, that's what it is. Yeah, this is what it was. This is what I remember. It kind of is a demo game, right? To show the thing. It makes the best use of the dual sense, yeah. It's the only thing that actually sounded good, dude. Oh shit! Okay. Hey Andrew, how you doing? It does look amazing, but it didn't stick out in his mind. No, it looks good. Suicide Squad on Suicide Watch, man. Poor Suicide Squad, man. When it comes free to every PlayStation 5, yeah, the Playroom, yeah, the only game to use Sony's controller the right way. Was the state of play yesterday? I believe so, a few hours ago. It went bad, yeah. It was a ton of yeah, and things coming to PC. The remaster of the God of War kind of thing for PC. They're making a lot of money with fucking Helldivers too. And I think PlayStation recognized, like, yeah, the PC is an untapped fucking market right now. And they need to exploit that. It was a state of play last night. Showcase is different. But yeah, Sony feels more like a publisher now. Absolutely. Good thing I'm not a neutral gamer then. Yeah. Like, with the PC thing, dude, like, I played yesterday. You guys must have missed it or something. Yesterday? Was it yesterday? Or a few days ago? I don't remember. But I installed, like, RPCS 3. And for those who don't know, this is a fucking emulator. And so far I only have Skate 3. But the fact that I can play my PlayStation 3 games, it makes me realize how good PlayStation 3 was compared to PlayStation 4, man. You guys remember PlayStation Home? Holy fuck, man. That was great. It was so sad that they had to cancel that shit. But yeah, I have Skate 3 and this shit works almost flawlessly. With a PC, man, you play PlayStation. If Xbox ever releases a game like Starfield, an exclusive, even though you're not missing a lot. If they release it for Xbox, they most likely release it for PC. So if you buy a PC, honestly, you can just pretty much play every fucking game in existence. You play the Xbox exclusives, you play the PlayStation exclusives. Maybe with the PlayStation exclusives, you need to wait a little bit for them to remaster the whole thing. And you can play the PlayStation 3 games too. This fucking thing works almost flawlessly, dude. I don't get any kind of lag or some shit. It's amazing. So let me see here. Oh, yeah, the Switch, yeah. I'm also forgetting about that. The Switch is a good console to have, though. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to buy it, but I'm saving money for something that is actually crucial right now, and I don't need it. This is sad. They kind of recovered a little bit. Not so bad. Look at that. Oh my gosh, dude. They're going crazy. Ooh, wasn't this when they released season 1? They should have put it here when they released season 1. It's really bad when you release a season and the game doesn't even get like a huge fucking peak. This was, it's just a, it was a fart in the wind. You know what I mean? Like nobody cared. Nobody really cared. What do I want to search? Season 1 release dates. It was March 28th. Really? Not this. Okay, so it was here, right? So they had a lot of people seeing it. But look at that drop off, dude. This is not a good curve. This is a roller coaster you do not want to be in. 150, oh wait, no, 127 the lowest. And it's going back down again. I don't know what happened here, but they are... Jesus Christ, that is sad, man. It's Rocksteady, people. It's Rocksteady. You guys want to compare the fucking... It's really sad what happened to them. I really like Rocksteady, man. They made pretty much no mistake ever. No, actually, let's go SteamDB with a fucking kill. Suicide Squad. If you see... Can I see by... developer? I cannot, but we can kind of go with this. Arkham VR. I think even Arkham VR that is very like niche, like €5 at sale right now. Okay, it's very niche. It wasn't a good one, but every other game, even right now, man. This is the what is this one? Asylum, man. The first game, not even the best. 706 people, a single player game, people. That's just sad. That is just fucking sad. They do have the console thing, but still. Arkham Knight. Where's the city? We forgot the city. City is by far my favorite. Even though Arkham Knight is a little more pleasurable in terms of like actual fights and shit. That is sad, dude. To have a game this old, yeah, it's a fucking, like, even Arkham Knight, it was what, 2015, almost 10 years ago? A little bit less than that, but that is sad. So what happened?
9 minutes ago, 330. That is bad. Really bad. Now, we don't have console numbers, but I'm going to be willing to bet they're probably similar. So I would say total, and I'm being generous here, but total across all platforms, Xbox, PlayStation.
Assume the same number. It's not even it's not satisfying in any way.
The character that they have.
I just want to see what's the main news. So, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League to turn Mr. Freeze trans in new update confirmed by Warner Bros. The MCA takedowns of Image. I guess it's fine for them to do the copyright in that case because it's technically a leak, I guess. Why? Why can't they build something new? You know what I mean? If I was transgender, I would be insulted, man. Why can't you all build something original? Why do we have to piggyback on people that already exist, characters that already exist? I don't get it. The whole thing about Mr. Freeze being Mr. Freeze, a villain that you can kind of like, was the fact that of Nora, right? The fact that he has a wife that is in suspended hibernation. How am I supposed to connect with Mr. Freeze now? Is he gonna have a dude called Roger? She's gonna have a dude called Roger? I don't give a fuck. Even if it's like the whole appeal of Mr. Freeze is a guy who was stepped on all the fucking time, which a lot of guys can relate to, right? A guy was always stepped on, and he's kind of like an experiment gone wrong, an accidental. I think the official one I remember from the animated series, it was that it was an accident in the lab, and that caused him to be Mr. Freeze and to have to live in these temperatures while he was researching for a cure for his wife. You ruined his whole story with this. I don't have a problem with transgender characters, man, but the fact that you convert all of a sudden, like, how would they feel about a transgender character being transformed into a straight character? Like, you would lose your shit. And rightfully so, man. So why do we have these double standard like, oh no, all of a sudden this is fine? What's the purpose of this? Do they think the transgender community is just going to play the game, like, even though it's like, even transgender people will see, like, this is a shit game, I don't want to play this. You can put as many characters as you want, they don't want it. Why? Why are we... Instead of Rocksteady can't save a Suicide Squad. I would just bury it. I would bury it and think of the other IP that I have to make about. Fuck it. Let's move on, let's do another Batman game, or... Maybe not Batman, Superman, some shit like that. People kind of wanted a Superman game for a long time. I don't know why they didn't jump on that opportunity, but okay, whatever. They could do something like that. And they decide to spend time with this. Why? You know this is not going to work. Brownie points don't give you money. And they don't even give you an audience either. It's like the people who were complaining, there was a lot of people who were complaining about, the fuck was it, man? And this happens a lot. It's not just a specific game. But they make a rule, or like a change in the game to appease the Twitter folks. I hope they understand that they're not going to buy your games. They're going to forget about this whole controversy in about 2 fucking days and not give a shit about you. But the players that you, in a way, alienated, they're going to walk out. That's $60 a head that you're not going to get. And I don't know why you do this. Who you're trying to please? 300 players playing must be devs leaving 300 PCs open in the office, like debugging. The original devs have found a new studio. Yep. Yeah, it's just shadow of the past now. That is true. Safton Hill left. Pretty much a lot of them, the people that were involved in Suicide Squad, they were not involved with Batman, so they left. Talent kind of matters more than the studio, yeah, to give a bit of insight. A lot of the development is focused on microtransactions, mainly because it's the primary moneymaker, yeah. I think that's what they're trying to milk. Each player that is extremely loyal, they go for, like, it's like Sims. You know, Sims didn't make a lot of sales with a base game, so much so they made it free to play. But the expansions total hundreds of fucking dollars, man. If you want to buy every single expansion for Sims 4, Sims 3, whatever, it's hundreds of fucking dollars. So they have to rely on each person they grasp into being addicted to buy every fucking thing. This is a part of why so many major players are moving into the PC space, because you get everything. Like, yeah, and here's the thing, a lot of people said, like, oh, what about plug and play functionality? With Steam Big Picture, man, like, I'm not even sure if this is going to crash my fucking stream. But with this thing, you control pretty much everything with your controller. Hold on. I could connect my control, but I'm not going to do that. But people, you know how I play games nowadays? I have Steam Link. I use my phone. I connect. Where's my fucking phone, actually? Okay, here it is. Right, Steam Link. Right? I have a bed mount, that one of those like clamp things. I put it on my, you know, on a beach chair that is on the patio of my house. Right. It kind of balances itself in the air with it, and I'm playing with a controller, literally 3 stories of distance between the computer and my phone, and I can have the same performance of a fucking console and play everything with a controller while I'm miles away from the fucking shit. Literally, I'm using this in house, but when I go into vacation and I'm at an Airbnb, if the Airbnb has a decent connection with the Wi-Fi, it's literally like I'm on the bed mount, this thing being a little bit close to my eye so I can see pretty much every detail. PS4 controller, that's it, that's fine. I play every fucking thing. Ghost of Tsushima, that's how I'm playing it right now. I go to the, I go on the outside and I start playing Ghost of Tsushima. Imagine if PlayStation just releases games from day one. That's me playing in the patio, a $60 game. You get everything with this fucking thing. With Steam, you're guaranteed. Refunds below 2 hours, right? You have a good customer support, honestly, from Steam. You have simulators, games that you normally don't get on PlayStation. You don't get games like fucking Squad on PlayStation. You get Hell Let Loose, maybe. Tell me what else do I need? I have my PlayStation games coming to Steam now. I have my Xbox exclusives on fucking PC too. I don't need it. And this is like, if I can spend 6 hours playing on my phone with no issue. It's incredibly responsive. PC does everything when it comes to the things that I want from entertainment. In fact, you guys know how I edit my video. I don't edit in this room. This thing is linked to my laptop as well, and I'm editing literally without having to, pass around my fucking hard drive from place to place to edit. No. I literally access from my computer to this, and that's it. You guys can leave a PC next to a TV and use a controller, never a single mouse or a controller. A PC today can mean a console. So I will always suggest people to just to go to PC right now. It might be a little more expensive, but you get the whole fucking package. You get emulators, mods. 5M is a huge fucking mod. If you like GTA, man, 5M is fucking fun. Cops and Robbers, I might play one night, maybe tomorrow. I kind of miss it. Cops and Robbers, roleplay, shit like that you have on fucking 5M. If you want to play single player roleplay with, mods like LSPFR, you have it. Okay? PlayStation games, if you want something plug and play, PlayStation games, you have plenty of them. Spider-Man, pretty fucking awesome. Love the first game and I still have it on my Steam. Finished the DLCs and all. Okay? PC games, Squad, shit like that. Simulators, a little bit more of a serious experience. You can work on a computer. Forget about it, man. Maybe you spend a lot of money, but that's a one-time purchase. And you spend money in the things that matter. You don't spend more money on games, because PlayStation never makes discounts, honestly. You never see PlayStation making discounts like they're doing with fucking hell, man. Suicide Squad, right? Suicide Squad being sold at 50% discount. Like the amount of games that go into discount on Steam is ridiculous. I bought Battlefield 1 for the PC for €5, people. I bought the whole Battlefield 1 with all the fucking expansions. It cost me the premium version €5 fucking, dude. And it wasn't a dead game by then. It still had people playing. And holy fucking shit, dude. Meanwhile, on PlayStation, the game was still being sold at $40, $50. PlayStation has no reason to lower the prices. You have the console, you have to pay it. And I'm sorry, but spending more money on games when I should be spending more money on hard drives, or on graphic cards where they give you more performance, CPUs that give you more performance. You can have more shit open at the same time. I'm sorry. I think it's a much better better spendage. That's not even a word. It's better money. It's better. What the fuck? Better spending, right? On a GPU, CPU, whatever, than to have, games being sold at 60 and they're not worth 60. Starfield, dude, Xbox Game Pass, and even though you have the Game Pass on Xbox too, which is kind of cool, Xbox kind of takes a win with the Game Pass. But the fact that, if I bought Starfield, that would be $60 in the fucking bin because I don't play it anymore. I dropped it really quick. So I'm sorry, I don't see a reason for a console for most people. No disrespect to consoles, some of them are kind of cool, but for the price, but you can do a little bit better if you're not on a budget. And even a PC on a budget, honestly, now that the GPU prices have stabilized, it's fine. Let me see where I left off on the chat. I'm sorry if I'm ignoring. I need to keep my train of thought. That said, there's only 10 games on Steam generating around 90% of the profits for Valve Corporation per reporting. Absolutely. Most of the games make really small chump change, but that's the whole appeal of Steam. You buy small games and hey, if they take off, like look at Lethal Company, is a game made by one single guy. Took off. To me, it's silly move thinking they can't compete in that space. They're not Candy Crush, they're not Fortnite, and they're not Genshin Impact. It's bread and circus for the most part, and a distraction. If I like a game, I support it. They just need to make a game I like. This trend, by the way, is just starting to die off. Use big picture to play today. It's fucking amazing. Gonna buy a PlayStation 5 for GTA 6? I have to, man. I can't wait a whole year for the fucking PC release. It's kind of sad that Rockstar doesn't release it for PC. I really don't believe PC piracy is a factor anymore. Helldivers show that you don't need pirate, like you don't need to. For those who don't know, Helldivers 2 has a bigger player count on PC than on PlayStation. So, and it's a PlayStation exclusive kind of thing, right? Player count higher on PC. Right, but if you consider pretty much the total versus this, the ratio is pretty much on the PC, right? And when that happens, it's clear that piracy is not an issue anymore, and I really don't understand why Rockstar couldn't just make a port in time for the PC and just, we don't care, like, oh, better graphics. We're gonna install mods that make your fucking update look like children's play. Let's be honest. So, I don't know, man. It's always something that I've never understood why Rockstar doesn't release for PC on day one. Again, piracy is not a factor. They already done studies about that shit. People that want to support your game, they will. Just for the fact that people would like to play GTA Online, the GTA 6 version, so they're gonna have to buy the game. So I don't know. It's just silly that they don't release it, but whatever. But I'm gonna have to buy a PlayStation 5 in that case, yeah, of course. We'll see if the Pro is worth it, but it doesn't seem so. If I can get a job, I should be able to start off with a gaming laptop and hopefully work my way to a PC. Console gaming died to me in 2017. Yeah, to me it was around that same time. Actually, a little bit earlier, 2015. That was about it. GTA's console experience is going to be the worst of all my options. Makes sense if you don't have a gaming rig. Yeah, but you'll have to wait until at least 1 year for GTA 6 to release on PC. Yeah, one cannot contain the overwhelming feeling of not being able to play the new GTA 6. GTA 6, like Rockstar, has gained a reputation that, even though I would not, like, this is a huge financially it's a stupid fucking decision to make. I agree. But I'm gonna buy the PlayStation ahead of time so that I don't run shortages, that could happen. And then also, I'm pretty much just buying the PlayStation for the fucking, for GTA 6. But it's one of those games, it's one of those companies that, even though Rockstar did a lot of shit with GTA Online, I do trust their single player experience. They have never disappointed so far. Never. They made some, when you think about, like, oh, some GTAs didn't really work out, they were kind of like spin-offs. So it wasn't really that. But I do feel sad because obviously the performance is going to be shittier. We're going to have less pets and all that kind of stuff. So let's see how they deal with that. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to have to buy a console. I can't wait. Hoping it comes to a Game Pass GTA 6. Yeah, that would be cool. Suppose if I get that level of an itch, maybe on Xbox. Yeah, I mean, Xbox in my country is almost like not doable, man. Like in Portugal, you buy a PlayStation. That's it. If you want to play online and shit. Game is kind of too far out to really think about it yet. Yeah, sure. We still have a little bit of time. I already have a little bit of money. People make stupid decisions, financial decisions all the time. My stupid decision is to buy a whole PlayStation just to play GTA 6. But I already have that money on the side, so. But yeah, this is stupid. I don't think there's a lot more to it. Alleged copyright violations having the image. I guess if it's a leak, I understand why they're copywriting it. It's sad, though. It's a bit sad. Alright. Sorry, I kind of done here. My ears are fucking dying because of headphones. At some point, they started wearing me out. Was fun. Alright, I'll try to stream again. I'm not sure if it's going to be a game or whatever. Today, I just didn't feel the energy to play a game. So, that's how it is. We saw Terrence Howard lose his shit. And, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Alright, again, I can't promise you when, but I'm editing. I'm not really like I'm at that slow throttle because at some point I'm gonna go on vacation, so I'm not gonna be editing either way. So I'm not worried about finishing the video so I can start another one. But you should expect a new video next Friday. Honestly, I can almost guarantee it because yeah, on the 7th. Yeah, I'm almost gonna guarantee it because I need to release something before I go. So yeah, I'm currently editing. I should have time this week to stream a little more often, so we'll see. So thank you so much, Susano, right? Random user, Mark, Goran, and anyone that I might have ignored in the chat as well. I'm sorry if that happened, or anyone who's watching, right? Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time, all right, guys? Boo.